Everybody. So we finally have the original team back. This is Power Rangers 40, Necessary Evil. And I've been looking forward to this for a while because I really liked this book and Go-Go when they were like at their peak. Now we have just, I think Brian Parrott is his name. He's doing all of the books now. And in my last video, I said Go-Go was canceled. And I thought it was because it really seemed like where they left it was a good place to leave the book. But I guess it's going to keep going. I'm kind of thinking they're going to pick up and keep going with the Green Ranger stuff because this is White Ranger now. And so, like, that past run, what was it, Beyond the Grid? Turns out you didn't even need to read that at all. This picks right up at Shattered Grid number 1. Picks right up there. You can even see it right there. You remember these last days? This is pretty much a recap of that run where they're like, you know, oh, we're just going to fix the world and go back to normal. And it ended. And then it went into that other run. Great news. If you didn't read that, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like it even mattered. Oh, that's terrible for everyone that read that. It didn't matter at all. I, of course, am happy to have the original team back, minus weird looking art like this. What is that face? Like a putty patroller. It's stupid. But for the most part, it's got a nice like anime-ish manga look, as it usually does. I do like the art for these Power Rangers books, even though this isn't that great. I wanted to open up here because I like Adam, I like Aisha, and don't like Rocky. I've never liked Rocky. I think he's the weakest Red Ranger, probably in all of Power Rangers. And I don't watch too many other teams, but every Red Ranger that's ever been in the series is like badass leader. Rocky's like a wuss lackey. He definitely made the Red Ranger the weakest it's ever been when he was it. He's not a leader. Like, I always like the Red Rangers have leadership skills. There's no skills when it comes to Rocky. He sucks. And it's all because Tommy leads the team. You know, he's the leader from this point on as the White Ranger. I do want to point out the art's not as bad as that panel, though. You can see here, it looks pretty good. But it doesn't bring much up when you have this weird looking face. This is a lot of setup in this issue. You get a lot of hints to what's going on. There's a lot of resentment from Tommy to Jason, Trini, and Zach leaving. And there's a little bit of tension between Kim and the new Rangers. They kind of, are learning on the fly, and it shows that the team is like, kind of hurting because they're so inexperienced. Lord Zed is in the book now. A new villain shows up. I don't know who he's going to be, but as you can see, Lord Zed is here, and this is going to be the new villain. He's like some kind of bounty hunter, it looks like, from the way they were explaining it. He comes from a prison. They're trying to set up that he's like a badass. And it ends up with like spoilers and stuff, but at the end of the book, they're talking to the old Power Rangers, and they're like, "We're off the grid. We're off the grid," and it shows them having powers and new suits. So I'm wondering what that's going to be about. I'm not sure, but for the most part, this was pretty good. I'm glad they're back on the old team, calling the book Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And and having it be like a mashup of all the other Rangers, that just wasn't flying for me very much. I didn't like that, but for the most part, this was pretty good. I'm glad that they are back to form. I'm wondering what's going to go on with Zach, Trini, and Jason, because they have suits, obviously. So are they going to tell that story, what they were really doing when they're at the peace talks? I think that's an interesting angle to take. It'd be nice to see them still included, actually, because that original first season team, that's the That's the team everybody likes. I was really hoping that they were going to, have it as they first started. Maybe show some stuff between Jason and Tommy during that power transition. Because if you remember, like it was a stupid line. Like Jason's Zordon said to Jason or the team, "You're happy with the new power leader or whatever," and he's like, "Oh, this is awesome." It's like you just got demoted like a bitch, and you're like, "This is awesome." So I thought that would have been cool to see, but obviously they're going to skip that to the second season team, which is fine. I still am glad they're back to the Mighty Morphin team. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you've been following this book and if you're glad, or did you like the mashup team? Give me your thoughts in the comments, and like, subscribe, share video, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next one.